Michelle. Welcome to Math Your Way. In today's lesson, we're going to be factoring polynomials, and we're going to use the AC method. The AC method is when you do A times C, and you split. You have two numbers that add, and it has to give you B. So the first thing we're going to write down is A is equal to 1, B is equal to 9, and C is equal to 18. So when we do A times C, we get 18. So I'm going to replace this with 18 now. And make sure you're writing and you're following what is going on. My B is 9, so I'm going to write 9. All right? So now that we have that, we need to figure out two numbers that add to give me 9, but multiply to give me 18. So I'm going to write down the numbers, and we can clearly see that 1 times 18 is 18, but it's no way possible that we can get 1 plus 18 to be 9. So the 1 times 18, 1 and 18 are not the factors we're going to use. Then I'll write down 2. 2 times 9 does give me 18, but it's not going to add to give me 9. So that is not a factor. 3. 3 times 6 does give me 18, and 3 plus 6 does give me 9. So I'm going to use those as factors. 3 and 6 are the numbers I'm going to use. Now pay close attention to what I'm doing, so when you do your problem, you're able to do it correctly. And remember, math takes practice, so you do have to sit, you have to watch it, you have to practice, and you have to, just keep trying until it becomes something that becomes easy, okay? So now that we have that, I'm going to erase this. We write down, and we're going to put an x with that. So we have x squared, and instead of using 9x, we're going to say plus 3x plus 6x, because remember, 3x plus 6x does give us 9, but we just broke it up, plus 18. So we're going to group these, and in my other video, which I'm going to post at the end, if you have a problem with factoring these type of problems, then there's going to be a link in the video, and you watch that video and then come back to this one. So now that we're here, right, you're going to look at just this. How do we find the GCF? Okay, we know that both of these have an x, so therefore the GCF is going to be an x. I'm going to take an x out, and I'm going to be left with x plus 3. And then with this one, the GCF is 6. And remember, if you don't know how to find the GCF, watch the video at the end. So this one is the 6, and I'm going to be left with x plus 3. So now, you know you did it correctly is if what you have in the parentheses are the same. So now, you're going to write x plus 3, because that is one of your factors, and then x plus 6 is your other factor, and you have now factored by grouping. Okay? So I know that was a lot, and we're going to do another one, and then you're going to do one on your own. And then I'm going to do it where the coefficient is not 1, but it's a number. So let's try another one together. X squared plus 14x plus 40. So my A is 1, my B is 14, and my C is 40. A times C is 40. So I'm going to put 40. I'm going to break it up. And I'm going to put 14. So I need two numbers that multiply to give me 40 and add to give me 14. If I do 1 times 40, I do get 40, but 1 plus 40 does not give me 14. We can try 2. 2 times 20 does give me 40, but 2 plus 20 does not give me 14. 3 don't go into 40 evenly. I can do 4. 4 times 40 does give me 40, and 4 plus 10 does give me 14, so I'm going to go with 4 and 10. So now that we figured that out, we write x squared plus 4x, and remember, plus 10x. 4x plus 10x does give me 14x, so we just split it up. It's still the same, plus 40. So now I'm going to group. I'm going to find my GCF. I can see that my GCF is x. I can see that my GCF is 10, so I'm taking that out. And I'm just factoring. And once again, at the end of this video, I will attach the factoring monomials at the end of this video. So take out the 10, we get left with x plus 4. Okay? So now we know that we did it correctly because we have the same numbers in the parentheses. So I'm going to take my x plus 10 that's on the outside of my parentheses, and what's in my parentheses, x plus 4. And I have factored my problem. I'm going to give you one for you to do on your own. X squared minus 8x plus 7. Pause the video. Try to work this one out on your own. A equals 1, B equals negative 8, and C equals, we have x squared minus 8x. Alright, so this one you're going to do on your own. Pause the video. We have A equals at 1, B equals negative 8, and C equals 7. 7 times 1 is 7, and B equals negative 8, which is different than what we have done, but you can do it. We know that 1 times 7 is 7, and 1 plus 7 is 8. So we do kind of have our numbers, we just don't have the right sign. So I'm going to play with these numbers and with the signs to try to get negative 8. Well, I know that if I do negative 1 plus negative 7, that does give me negative 8. And negative 1 times negative 7 does give me positive 7. So I'm going to go with negative 1 and negative 7. So now I do my grouping, x squared minus 1x minus 7x plus 7. Alright? So I'm trying to group. So I'm going to group this and I'm going to group this. We take out an x and we left with x minus 1. Right here, we want to take out a 7, right? So we're taking out a 7 and we're left with negative x plus 1. We almost have them looking alike, except we have a positive and a switch. So what if I took out a negative from here and made this negative? Now this becomes positive, and whatever I did right there, now all my signs have changed for this one. So if I distribute it back, I would get negative 7 plus 7, so that's fine. I just changed all my signs on this side because I need this and this to look alike, and it do. So it's no longer plus, it's minus. So I can do x minus 7 and x minus 1. And that is how I factor. like I said, if that confused you, you took out a -7. And when you took out that negative sign with it, you have to change all of the signs that's in the parentheses that you're leaving, because you took out the negative. And if you distribute that negative back, then that will change back to positive. So that is your answer. And I'm going to now do, no, I'm going to do my, so please like, share, and subscribe.